Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Movesets video. Today's video is going to be all about the normal type variant of Silvally. So let's get started by taking a look at this Pokemon's typing, abilities, and stats. So to start things off, Silvally is a normal type Pokemon that possesses an extremely unique ability in the form of the RKS system, which is an ability that essentially allows this Pokemon to change its type to whatever it wants to be, provided it is holding the correct memory item that corresponds to the type that you want Silvally to be. For purposes of this video though, I'm only going to be talking about the normal variant of Silvally, but if you do want to take a look at another type variant of this Pokemon and possible movesets that each of these types can run, you can stay tuned till the end of the video, where I'll post a screen for you all to click on whichever type you want to look at for Silvally to use. But for the stats on this Pokemon, just to talk about them a little bit before we get into the movesets, it is important to note that this Pokemon is extremely versatile in and of itself, including the fact that it can change its type to anything, because it has base 95 stats across the board, meaning that if you want a physical attacker, a special attacker, a defensive Pokemon, or just a utility pivot, this Pokemon can essentially take on all of those roles and do so very effectively. So with that, let's take a look at the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to use Silvally as a special attacker. So we're going to start this one off by giving it either a timid nature to boost its speed but lower its physical attack, or a naive nature to boost its speed but lower its special defense. As to the EVs, we're going to max out its special attack and speed with 252 EVs into both of those stats, and then put the remainder 4 EVs into its special defense. As to the item, we're either going to run Choice Specs to boost your special attack, a Choice Scarf to boost your speed, a Life Orb to boost the damage of all of your attacks at the cost of losing 10% of your health every time you damage your opponent, an Expert Belt to boost the damage of your super effective moves, an Assault Vest to boost this Pokemon's special defense, Leftovers to allow this Pokemon to recover HP at the end of every turn, or Dark EMZ to work in combination with one move on this set with a really awesome effect. But for the moves, the first one that we're going to go with is going to be Tri-Attack to be our main stab normal special attack that also has a chance to potentially burn, paralyze, or freeze our opponents. Then for your next two move slots, we're going to go with some combination of Ice Beam or Surf for the second one, and Thunderbolt and Flamethrower for the third one, to essentially give this Pokemon a ton of type coverage to hit a lot of things super effectively. Then for your fourth move slot, if you just want to go with straight special attacking moves, Flamethrower would be a great option to go with here to give you a ton of coverage, as mentioned before, to hit so many things super effectively. But we can also theoretically run Explosion in this move slot as well to give this Pokemon an easier time breaking through special walls that would easily be able to take its special moves on this particular set. It's also just a really great last-ditch effort to allow this Pokemon to hit something really hard before something else on your team comes in. But another option for this last move slot is either running Parting Shot or U-Turn to give this Pokemon some flexibility in what it is able to match up against in battle, and also allow you to gain some switch initiative very easily. It's also important to note that Parting Shot is particularly interesting when used in combination with Dark EMZ, because in addition to lowering your opponent's physical and special attack when you make use of this move and switching out of battle, you will actually heal whichever comes in after Silvally leaves up to full health when used in combination with Dark EMZ, basically allowing this to be a huge support move to help out another member of your team that might be incredibly useful but has taken a ton of damage already throughout the battle. However, if you just want a damaging switch out move, U-Turn is the option to go with there. As for this next moveset, it is the physical variation of the previous one. So we're going to start this one off by giving it either a Naive Nature to increase its speed but lower its special defense, or a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack. And for the ability, obviously going with the RKS system, but this time for the EV spread, putting 252 EVs into its physical attack and its speed, and then putting the remainder 4 EVs into its special defense. As to the item, for this moveset, we're going to either run a Choice Band to boost the damage of all of your physical attacks, a Choice Scarf to boost your speed, a Life Orb to boost the damage of all of your attacks at the cost of losing 10% of your health every time you damage your opponent, an Expert Belt to boost the damage of super effective moves, an Assault Vest to boost your special defense, Leftovers to recover some HP at the end of every turn, or again, Dark EMZ to be used in combination with Parting Shot. For the moves though, since this is the physical variant, we're going to be running Return as our main stab normal type attack, and then running Crunch for some excellent coverage allowing you to hit ghost types super effectively that would normally be able to be immune to your return. As for your third option, there are quite a few things to either make this set mixed or just fully physical attacking. So the first option is either to go with Flamethrower or Ice Beam to give this Pokemon some additional type coverage to break through a variety of physical walls that are weak to these, such as Skarmory and Landorus. Whereas the last option here is to run Explosion to give this Pokemon an extremely powerful physical attack that's going to be damaging things for some hefty damage. For the last move slot though, again, we could theoretically run Explosion here as well if you want to go with the other attack options in the third move slot, but then again we also have the option of running Parting Shot or U-Turn here to give this Pokemon some switch initiative and also the possibility to heal a teammate as we switch out of battle through the use of Parting Shot and Dark EMZ in combination with one another. As for this next moveset, we're going to be running a boosting mixed or fully special attacking set for Silvally. So we're going to start this one off by giving it either a Naive Nature to boost its speed but lower its special defense, or a Timid Nature to boost its speed but lower its physical attack, and then running an EV spread of 252 special attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs, with the item options being Life Orb, Dark EMZ, or Leftovers. As to the moves, the first one on this set is going to be Workup as a way to boost both our physical attack and our special attack by 1 stage. And then for our first attack, either going with Tri-Attack to be your special normal type move, or Return to be a physical normal move, essentially allowing you to make use of a mixed set if you do go with Return, allowing you to basically deal a lot of damage to both physical and special walls, since we'll have some decent investment into both stats, plus the added boosts that we've acquired through Workup. Then for our third option, we're either going to go with Ice Beam or Surf for some additional coverage, and then lastly running Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, or Parting Shot in this last move slot to give us additional type coverage, or again that awesome combination of Dark EMZ when used in combination with Parting Shot to heal a team member when we switch out. As to this next moveset, we're going to be running a more weather-centric Silvally that'll not only be able to help its team by setting up weather for it, but also potentially allow this Pokemon to boost its stats in order to make better use of the weather on its own. So again, we're going to run a Timid Nature and the same EV spread as the previous set, but for the item, using 4 different options that are to work in combination with your first move on this set, which is either going to be Rain Dance or Sunny Day. For Rain Dance, we have the option of running a Damp Rock to extend the turns of rain from 5 to 8, or make use of Water EMZ to not only set up rain, but boost our speed in the process to help us take advantage of that. But for the Sun side of things, we have a Heat Rock to extend its turns from 5 to 8, or Fear EMZ to again set up the Sun, but allow us to boost our speed by 1 stage when we do so. As for the moves though, on both of these options, we're going to be going with Tri-Attack to again be your main stab normal type move, but for the other 2 moves, running ones that are more related to whichever weather you're going to be using with this Silvally. So Surf is obviously going to be there for the rain variant, whereas Flamethrower will be there for the sunny day variant. Then for your last move slot, we're either going to run Thunder as a way to again work in combination with Rain since it cannot miss while Rain is on the field, or Thunderbolt just to give you some extra type coverage on the Sun variant because it's obviously the more accurate version and you don't have to worry about it missing. But in addition for this last move slot, if you don't think you're going to need this other coverage move and are setting up the Rain more so as a way to support teammates, or the Sun for that matter, you can again run U-Turn or Parting Shot here to give this Pokemon an opportunity to switch out into something that can take advantage of the weather effects. As to this next moveset, we're going to be running a boosting physical attacking set. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a Jolly Nature to increase your speed but lower your special attack, and then running an EV spread of 252 attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs. As for the item, on this set we're going to either run a Life Orb to boost the damage of all of our attacks at the cost of losing 10% of our health every time we damage our opponent, Leftovers to recover some HP at the end of every turn, or again Dark EMZ to work in combination with Parting Shot. But for the moves on the set, the first one that we're going to go with is going to be Swords Dance to boost our physical attack by 2 stages and thus allow us a lot of power behind our physical moves, the first of which being a Stab Return that is going to be the main attack that you're going to be going with on this set. Then we're also going to run Crunch as well for some added type coverage, effectively allowing you to hit the ghost types that are immune to return for some super effective damage. And then for the last move slot, running either Ice Fang or Explosion for an additional physical attack, Explosion doing a ton of damage potentially after you've already acquired a Swords Dance, which is something to keep in mind, but Ice Fang for dealing with other Pokemon such as Gliscor or Landorus T that are going to want to switch in on this physical attacker, because this will allow you to hit those Pokemon for some super effective damage. But as well as all the other sets, we're also going to run U-Turn or Parting Shot in this last move slot to give us Pokemon some utility in moving around the battlefield, and also potentially healing a teammate, so that when you do Swords Dance, you don't always have to make it go to waste by just trying to hit stuff really hard. You can actually just switch out and wait for another opportunity to set up later in the battle, or again, support your team through using Parting Shot. As of this last move set, we're going to be running more of a bulky support Silvally. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a bold nature to increase its physical defense but lower its physical attack, and then running an EV spread of 252 HP EVs, 88 defense EVs, and 168 special defense EVs to give this Pokemon its maximum mixed bulk possible. And for the item, either going with leftovers to recover HP at the end of every turn, or Dark EMZ. For the moves though, this time we're going to begin by giving this Pokemon Thunder Wave as a way to paralyze its opponents and cripple their speed, and potentially make it so that they have no moves used that turn when they're fully paralyzed. Then, in combination with this, we're going to run Tri-Attack as our main stab normal type move that can also paralyze in itself, but has the additional chance to potentially freeze or burn something, which can very much so come in handy on a more support set like this one. As for your next attack, we're either going to run Flamethrower, Ice Beam, or Surf for some additional type coverage, and then for your last move, either running Explosion for that one-time super powerful physical normal type move to damage an opponent for a lot of damage, Parting Shot to again work in combination with Dark EMZ, and as a way to lower your opponent's attack and special attack when switching out of battle, or U-Turn as a way to also switch out of battle, but also do a little bit of damage in the process. But that is it for this video, everybody. So I want to thank you all for watching, and if you are interested in checking out some of my other videos on Silvally, based on using the different memories to change it to every single other type in the game, you can take a look at this screen right here, and hopefully by the time that this is up, you'll be able to click on an annotation above each type variety to be sent to a video on that particular Silvally and see some movesets for it that you could potentially run. But that is it, everybody, so as always, please take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.